Hi everybody, my name is Boris. I'm a first year PA student, and today I wanted to shoot a quick video to talk about the individual interview for PA school. The school I'm going to has their interviews coming up, so I've had a few friends reach out and ask for advice on the interview process. So when you apply to PA school, they take all the applications and they invite a certain number of people to do an in-person interview. Some schools do individual, some schools do group interviews. The school that I'm going to did both, an individual and a group. And then some schools do something called an MMI, which is multiple mini interviews. I can talk about that in a future video, but today I just wanted to talk about the individual interview. So in my case, it was just me, and then it was two faculty members from the school. Other schools may have you with one, others may have a whole panel of people interviewing, which sounds incredibly stressful, honestly. With the two people interviewing me, it honestly just felt more like a conversation, which was much more comfortable than I can only imagine a whole panel of people grilling you, or what would feel like grilling you. But anyway, I'm not going to digress. Just wanted to talk about some tips I have to do the best that you possibly can in the individual interview. So the first thing I would say is to know your whole application backwards and forwards. The people that are interviewing have taken the time to study your application. They know everywhere you went, they know the kind of grades you got, they know all about your experiences, they've read your essay. Everything that you put in your application, they have a general knowledge of, and they probably come up with some specific questions. So it would be a little embarrassing if they read your application and they know it better than you do. So my first tip, know your application very well. Every experience, every class you've taken, any reasons for any poor grades, anything that really helped you grow, anything that really changed you as a person, anything you really want to talk about. Make sure you have a few things for every experience. My next tip is kind of tying in with the first one, have stories about everything you've done. So if you were a CNA on the floor somewhere, make sure you know at least one or two stories just right off the top of your head to talk about something that really inspired you, something that was really heartbreaking, something that was really interesting, just anything that really affected you as a person and made you want to go into medicine, or maybe reinforce your love for medicine. My next tip is if there's something negative or challenging in your life, which, let's be real, all of us probably had something. So make sure you put a positive spin on that and talk about how it really helped you grow as a person. So if you got, I don't know, a D in physics or something, or you had a very low GPA in college like I did, definitely talk about how it helped you grow and how motivated you are to become a PA student and what you've done to fix that. Odds are, if you've made it to the interview process, that means you've already fixed your grades, they already trust you academically, and now they just want to see how you are as a person. So they already know you fixed yourself academically, now you just get to tell them how. So I know that was a question I personally got. I had a very low GPA in college, and then I ended up doing a post-bac, just 1 year post-bac program in order to get my grades up, and they asked me about that. They said, look, you had a 2.9 GPA in college, how is it you got a much higher GPA in post-bac, and what changed? So I told them, basically, I started taking things seriously. I've never been a good memorizer, but I basically started learning from the ground up how to study, how to be a good student, things I never had in college. But because I love medicine, I wanted to be a PA so bad, I took the time and the effort to learn those things. And I think that my interviewers really liked that answer. So a lot of you, if you had a previous low GPA like I did and you've improved yourself, that's definitely a good way to put it, if that's true for you. My next tip, ask the interviewers questions. And it also ties in with my last tip, make it more of a conversation, more than an interview. So I think that's probably the most important thing I'm going to say. These people who are interviewing you are probably interviewing, dozens, if not close to 100 people over the days that the school is interviewing. So how do you stand out? Don't make it an interview. Make it a conversation. Ask them questions. I know that one of the standard interview questions they have is, do you have any questions for us? And that's usually when people would say, some specific question about the program or the school, or if they really want to get some brownie points, you can ask it about your interviewers. But my advice would be to not even wait for that question. If the interviewers aren't going, down the line really, really quickly, and they're just not giving you time to speak, if there's ever a lull in the conversation, ask them something. Or after you've answered something, at the end of your response, ask them something. I honestly don't remember any ways that I did that in my interview. I know I did, because honestly it felt like just a conversation and it was really enjoyable. It wasn't nerve-wracking at all. The people who interviewed me were incredibly nice and we just got along really well. But I'm trying to remember. Okay, so I had two people interviewing me. One was actually a faculty member in the PA program. The other one was a faculty member at the college, but not really in the PA program. He was some sort of a scientist. And so I noticed that the PA person was asking more of the questions and the scientist was asking some questions, but mostly just observing. Maybe he was doing more of the rubric role, kind of assessing me more. I don't know how it worked. But anyway, I definitely made it a point to ask him something about his work or something about the college, how he felt about, the PA program, just anything. I don't remember specifically, but it was just kind of a natural reflex to talk to the person who's speaking the least, who's being the most quiet, because their input is important and you want to get everybody's input in the room. It's just kind of, I don't know if it's a social skill or what, but it's just something that I naturally wanted to do. And I think it paid off because it got a really good conversation going between the three of us. So I'm sure I just rambled, but somewhere in that ramble, I hope you understood that it's very important to ask your interviewers questions, treat them like people, treat them like, I wouldn't say friends, be very professional, definitely be very professional, but treat them like people that you're talking to and wanting to get to know as much as they want to get to know you, because they want to offer you a spot in a very competitive program and they want to know that you can handle things socially. They already trust you academically and they know you have the smarts to get into the program. That's why they gave you the interview. Now they want to see how you are socially. Do you have the social skills? Do you make people feel comfortable around you? It's very important, and this is your chance to shine and really do that. So I hope that helps some people. I think like I said in my last video, I'm home on Christmas break, so I got nothing to do until my wife and I go home to Pennsylvania to see our families. So I'm going to shoot a few more of these videos today. I think my next one's going to be on the group interview because I know that's something that was very important for me to find information about, and there's not really much out there. So I really wanted to make people aware of what the group interview is like and how I thought that I excelled in it and how I would suggest that other people excel as well. So stay tuned. I'm going to post a few more videos. I hope you got something out of that one.